All right, my name is Keith Hackle, and we pastor in Des Moines, Iowa at Philadelphia Adventist Church as a part of the Central States Conference. It's a wonderful church, a smaller church compared to some, but we've been able to make a huge impact in our community, and we're having fun doing it. When I arrived at the church, I noticed that there was a garden not too far from the church. Previous pastor had led the church in buying about 6 lots of land, and the pastor after him came, and he was just a farm guy. He was into farming, and so he made a small plot just for himself to have something to do in his off time. And arriving there and looking at that and having members who knew what they were doing, God impressed us to open it up to the community. So it became a community garden. And the first year, we had to get the soil turned over and everything, able to grow. And we invited the community to come out, but they didn't really come out. The second year, once individuals saw that it was growing, we did something a little bit different. The invitation didn't work initially, so this time we took the food to them. We said, hey, this is from the garden, and we want you to know something. Though we maintain it, this is our garden. This is the community's garden, and it's just been amazing. So this year, we've seen it bloom. We've expanded it again. A couple weeks ago, we were out there. We picked collard greens, and we took them over to the Senior Citizen Center and distributed them, and they were excited. My members just called me this week and said they were out there picking green beans and purple cabbage and tomatoes, and so we will be distributing those things to the community as well. And what it does is it allows us to do something that I don't think we've done a good job of doing, and that's promoting the health message. We have the health message, we have the information here, and this is an easy way for us to do what we've been known for doing and introduce it to the community in a way that's not difficult. It doesn't make them feel obligated to do anything. But if they have any questions, if they want to learn how to cook, if they want to know how to pick the greens, then we do those instructional things right there in the field. And we also tell them this is your garden. So what that does is it creates ownership. Last year, an amazing story about the garden was someone who was not Adventist, actually attended a First Day church. I was out there working in the church's yard, but I saw her come over, and she said, hey, can I come over? I heard that there's collard greens here, and my first lady of my church asked me to bring collard greens, but I don't have the money. And I said, hey, come out, pick as much as you want. And what it was is our opportunity, the food that they would be eating at the church that next week or whatever would be food that came out of our garden. And I've challenged our members to appreciate one thing. There may be a lot of individuals that we'll never meet here on earth, but we may meet in heaven, and they'll be able to say that they ate a meal that maybe they would not have been able to eat because that garden was there to provide the food for the community. Another thing that we've been happy about is a summer reading program. It started about 4 years ago, and there was a group of kids and a director and a teacher. They would meet at the park across the street from our church. But what they noticed is that in the summer, it rains. And so while the kids were out there all day, if it rained, they would have to cancel programming. And so what they asked us to do in year 2 was just to allow for our church to be a place where they could come to still have programming on days that it rained. And we said, you're sure, you can come over and do that. Well, in year 3, because of some of the danger and negativity in the neighborhood and where our church is, they said it would be better for them to be able to be in the church full time as opposed to just coming over on rainy days. So we went to the board, we talked about it, and we allowed them to use our facility to have the program. Well, year 4 was coming around, and the director of the program got a job offer somewhere else. Now, this program is a free program. It's for underprivileged families, and what it does is it provides a opportunity for the kids to continue reading during the summer, those months and those times where usually reading declines. And it's to help them go back to school, hopefully either at reading level or above reading level once they get back. And so we got news that the director was leaving, talked to the board, talked to some other members in the church that weren't necessarily on the board, and said, hey, what about us? taking this on. United Way met with us and they said, if you all are willing to do this, we will fund it. And so they provided the funding. We provided the coordination in conjunction with Des Moines Public Schools, and we began the 6-week summer camp the second week of June. The children came out, the parents came out, and the first day, to be honest, because we weren't responsible for it, because the leadership team wasn't the team that was there the year before, the parents stayed around to just see how things would go. But I was excited as we went through week after week that the children continued to come. The parents continued to drop them off. And so we had 25 children come every single day for reading skills. There was enrichments through partnerships with our local universities, with our local organizations, to provide STEM programming, to provide arts. The Art Center came out and provided art instruction, and they made wonderful pictures. Our gardener, our master gardener who's on site, who's a member of the church, did an hour. And just a lot of partners came together. The local schools, someone who's not even in Des Moines, their district isn't in Des Moines, they're in another district nearby, they provided the lunch, so we had free lunch for them. And so it was just an amazing program. And we also were able to, through Des Moines Public Schools, provide books for the children, and the local library provided free books to the children every single week. And so it was just a blessing to be able to be a part of something that's impacting our community, to be able to say, this child is going to go back to school this school year and be able to read either at the level or above level because the members of Philadelphia took the time to sit down with them, to read with them, to encourage them, to let them know that, hey, you may not be able to sound this word out now, but if you try, if you put the effort in, then you can succeed at the things that you would like to do. It's been a blessing to be in Des Moines. It's been a blessing to see that it's possible to partner with other organizations and to make a difference in the lives of those that are around us. We've had a wonderful time in Des Moines. We hope to continue to have a wonderful time. And we thank God for the opportunity. We know that none of the stuff that we do is because of how great we are, but because He's put us in this place at this particular time to do the work that He's called us to do. And we're just glad to have the opportunity to work aside our Heavenly Father and changing lives forever.